Oh damn, true.
Okay, so like, where do you guys want to see Downcast in the next 2 years? Let's go 2 years. Where do you see that progression going for you guys, or what do you guys want to progress on personally,
I think in 2 years,
or within those 2 years? What are some of those benchmarks that you kind of want to be like? Okay, not like I have to do this, I have to do this, but maybe like, oh, uh, I got to a certain amount of followers, or I got to talk to this many people, or I met this person,
I
whatever it
think
is
we
for you.
can get in 2 years. I think we can try to start being either the late night closer or the very opener of like some LA venues like the Avalon Exchange. Was the one with the really long roof? It's my favorite.
Academy?
Academy. Love that one. I've seen people do it a lot quicker, and it's all about the people too.
Facts.
But I think we could be at a level to either, like I said, be the late night closer, the 3 a.m.er, or at least like the first opener. I think we could, or that's where I want to be. But I think we could. You just gotta believe.
Let me add this to that as well. When someone hears the name Downcast, what do you guys want to be synonymous with that? Like, what type of artist? Like, what type of, not even just artist, but what, how like you were talking about Morte, like how his sound is. Like, what is that for you?
That's
It's an
because
question.
it's how we play our sets is
It's a combination, for sure.
it's versatile.
Yeah, we've got like a little bit of everything in our sets.
He loves throwing in a little, left field bass, and I'm all about tear out and making people cry, and
Future bass,
some future bass, melodic,
Facts.
and but overall just a really heavy industrial sound, is what we usually bring. But
I want to be definitely known as versatile too, because I think those are easily some of the best artists. Like when they're known just for like.
A lot of things.
They just have they can bring something to the table for everyone, and
I think no matter what, whenever you hear Downcast, it's going to be a fucking show.
oh yeah,
I don't want it like synonymous with sound, maybe not so much. I want it to be synonymous with, oh, these fuckers are going to kill
we're gonna
it
be
no matter
like
what.
unmissable.
Okay.
Like if you see us on the lineup that's time conflicting with another artist, but it's a Downcast set, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Like that's a good check right there.
Yeah.
Let me try to.
Because I want our shows to be like fucking legendary.
100%. I think we're already making a name for us. Someone actually hit me up that lives in Texas.
Hey,
And he was like, hey, have you guys like checked on anybody else with the name of Downcast? I was like, yeah, it's like mostly smaller artists and a couple like I think metal bands like across the
I think there
country,
was
like,
a
had the
metal
same
band,
name.
yeah.
But he was like, well, these guys are EDM and they're already kind of making a name for themselves. And
Did
I
he
was like,
fucking
"Dude,
send
fuck."
you us?
He sent me our
No fucking
remix
way.
of your track.
I don't believe
Remix?
that.
And I was like, oh, that's us, brother.
You're about to
And,
give
like,
us time remix?
Yeah.
Holy
and I was
shit.
like, that's us, brother. And he goes, holy fuck.
Because we didn't. It was only kind of
What's going
recently. Yeah, it was only recently when we actually had like a picture of us as our SoundCloud profile picture. That was because it just said Downcast before, so there was like that's tight.
Yeah. I thought I told you about that.
That's tight. I was looking through the comments on the track the other day. I had no clue that it got that much attention at all.
Oh,
Like it,
I wasn't aware.
I was
And
not
then-
aware of it.
I mean, dude, whenever, at least when I try to do those remix EPs, like I definitely try to do like as much as I can to like make sure like
Yeah.
you did
People-
a fantastic
people-
job, man.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And
for having
thanks
us
for the
on.
remix for some. I mean, a lot. I mean, you guys saw the comments. Y'all saw the like all that. I mean, people
I was pretty
definitely.
stoked.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I could say it right now, bro. That track has transcended over the oceans of Pacific.
That's fucking
It's
dope.
global, dude. The track
That's
is hitting
amazing.
global
That's
areas,
dope.
dude. So I mean, just keep on at it, bro. I mean, keep on creating, keep on. Whenever you do hear like a remix EP of another artist.
Oh,
that
I hit
want
you
to
up with stems. I'm like, hey, every time you put out a song, I'm like, hey, buddy, send that over to me.
It's no, I think
That's real cool though.
kind of hit the nail on the head, with being synonymous with no matter what a great performance and making a name for ourselves of
I think we're already pretty known for our performance right now.
Stage
too.
performance.
Yeah.
Like and I would say I'm pretty humble usually, but we're great fucking performers.
It's cool that we have two
actually.
people because he can mixing in songs and I can go start a fucking mosh pit. Like
It's
that's
fun.
fucking dope. Like because one person can be completely interactive while someone in the back's doing the technical shit. You know, when it's just you by yourself, you know, that's a big list if you want to do both. Like I said, there's a lot of shoegazers out there. Makes it a lot easier when you have two people that you can have energy to feed off of.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And we rotate.
what's like the advantages? Like that's like a good advantage of being a duo. Like, what other advantages do you guys are aware of? Like being a duo, like live performing, or even like creating music. What do you guys?
Two minds is always better sometimes, or not always better, but two minds having just something to bounce ideas off of. So a lot more efficient sometimes.
Two half brains usually make like a
Yeah,
good one.
we were trying to make
We're
a
not
whole
very
brain.
smart, but you know, we're great performers.
We
but
split. I mean, he always says that I'm fucking tanking the thing, like I'm holding it all up, but we really do split a lot of responsibility. Like I may do like a lot of the production side, but he's handling booking shows, media, you know, and that sometimes doing both is fucking overwhelming when you're an artist and you're just trying to focus on creating, trying to stay relevant. That's like a huge weight lifted on my shoulders. You know what I mean? Like he takes care of a lot of that stuff.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's nice, dude.
It's,
like,
It's crazy. This is the second week in a row where we have a duo in with the same type of dynamic, and I'm
Sick.
just like y'all get. It's so nice, bro. Like
it,
that
it,
sounds.
it is.
I wish I could just produce.
And it's, I mean, obviously, like he does like post stuff on the Instagram or whatever else we need, but from my side, looking at it, like he says, my side is hard. I say his side is hard because I look at Ableton whenever he's looking at shit, and it blows my mind. Like it's Chinese to me, and then handling stuff with management side, it's what everybody's accustomed to, so it doesn't seem like as much work to me.
I was about to say, hold up, don't you know Chinese?
None. But it's no, it's I couldn't ask for a better person to be in a duo with, to be completely honest. And okay, pipe down. But it's honestly, like, even besides the music part, just hanging out with my best friend, because we'll practice a set and then just chill out, talk, bullshit. And being able to do that with someone else that you're comfortable with, because if you hate the other person, or like you're like, I can't stand this bitch, but he makes great
tough.
music, it's stupid.
I normally hate
there's no
group
enjoyment
projects.
in it.
Yeah, it's got to be with the right person because I hated group projects in high school. Like you just have to gel, and we got along kind of straight off the bat. Before we met, we FaceTime briefly.
Someone calls soulmates.
The set that we were gonna play, and it was kind of just right
it was
away.
off the rip. And even now, when he said two brains are better than one, 100%, because I'll be sitting there, and I had a double planned for like a week and a half when we get on the decks and I play it. And we're both kind of sitting there. I look at him, I was like, there's something cleaner that will go with this, and we agree. And I find another track and we do it. And now the entire set just sounds fat. So I love it. To be completely honest, and it is, I'm not going to lie, it is kind of a struggle starting from the bare bottom again. It is, because I go onto my Instagram, so many followers, and I go onto Downcast, it's like 86, but we're getting there. But I think the music and the performances speak for themselves.
I've been producing a lot longer than I've been DJing too, so I let him take care of all the fun, flashy shit. What I mean? He can do the really cool shit on the deck. His transitions are cleaner. With he was our last show, I did a little bit more because he taught me. Just using the effects board. I never fucking looked at that thing. The effects and washing out. I would just I would force my songs to just naturally come in clean. If you look at my set list, it is in fucking order. It's 75, 75, 2A, 2A, 2A until I transition to another key. I forced my songs to have to mix clean, music theory wise. So it wasn't hard for me to mix because I'm still pretty new to it. But he's teaching me a lot of shit, so he takes. Yeah, I know. So that's a huge thing. I see him mixing a fucking 2A song, which is D sharp minor, with a song that's D minor 7A. That shit don't work normally. Those are I know they sound really close, D and D sharp. all completely different notes on the fucking piano scale. So
Bro, you're super geeking out right now.
Oh, yeah.
that shit shouldn't work, but like, and I'm too scared to try that. I'm like, oh, it's not gonna work. And then I see him doing it. I was like, oh, that works fucking fine. I put myself in a box,
Bro,
and he's helping me break out of that fucking box.
I've never DJ'd by key before. Ever.
Really? It's how I prepare a
I
lot
know
of my
some
sets.
DJs that are just strictly, oh, dude, I need to have my shit in key, or else like
Doubles,
I
I
feel
will
weird.
say, they
makes
sound
sense.
naturally
That makes
better
sense.
because it's in the same key. It's not conflicting as much. So if you don't scoop your lows and you play them in the same key, it won't really conflict because the sub note is the same.
That makes
so
a lot of sense.
that helps.
It's definitely for doubles. I definitely agree
So-
is the biggest thing, but for everything else, vocal breaks.
So you,
Yeah, exactly. Vocal
since you
breaks.
DJ by key, can you tell when a DJ is not DJing by key?
100%.
Oh yeah, if someone's playing like a vocal thing over their track, like if it's at the end of
Okay.
a drop and the vocals are in a completely different key, oh yeah, it stands out.
You can also tell like when they were practicing by themselves and they never asked anybody else.
It's
what
like
they thought.
singing out of key. And like when someone's singing off, like you can just be like, oh, that's gross.
You know
But
what I'm
people
saying?
are-
Like
people
you'll be sitting there and
will
you're
probably
like,
know that it sounds bad.
you're sitting there and this dude's like, he's got this face on, like stank ass face, and he throws it up, and you're like, what the fuck? And he's sitting there like, why is nobody vibing with me? And you're like,
Some
oh,
people are
shit,
fucking
brother.
just they don't have the ear for it though, you know?
Yeah.
Right, because like I feel like I'll know if it doesn't sound good, but I guess that would you say that more comes to play when you are mashing up vocals with other stuff? Because can you necessarily tell when it's just two different tracks with different?
No, the best part about like actual dubstep sounds is that for the most part it's atonal. That's why like doubles really work well. It's
Yeah.
just the sub note. That is the only like actual note that's
That
in the
makes
song,
sense.
but like the sound design is atonal. So you can get away with mixing a two-way with a 7/8 song, even though like I don't want to, but like he'll do it, and I'm like, yeah, it works because like the bass notes are atonal. But if you were to play like the build-ups and the verses over each other, you'd probably notice a huge.
Yeah, wouldn't be.
You're like, oh, that doesn't sound like that's gelling together at all.
I-
But
That's it, bro. You guys are really like tripping me out because I've never paid attention to that, and now I'm gonna go on to like Record Box and
try
really
it.
see.
Yeah.
It's gonna blow your mind.
I'm gonna see if it like perspective, like sound wise, if it's making that much of a difference. I don't know. I just looked at BPMs and then I would curate it by what sounds good to me. I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, well, these two kind of sound good next to each other, so I'm going like that. Then the next,
And you
Which
know-
I think is a curse of having a little bit of music theory.
yeah.
It's like you put yourself in a box. I try not to.
As
I
you
try
were
to.
saying.
I try to break out, and I'm actually practicing mixing a lot more. So I'm trying to just not even think about what the key is. and
I'm glad I
just have
bullshitted in that
songs.
class.
Huh?
Music theory.
I'm glad I bullshitted music theory.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not trapped in like, it shouldn't be like that.
It's a curse sometimes. It just
Yeah.
locks you in, and it makes, especially with writing music, you want to write it all in the key, but sometimes not every song, every note's not in key. Like that's just not how music works. It's not always so perfectly uniform. Humans like to hear the tension and difference in notes, build-ups. Like they like to hear that tension.
When it comes to producing, it's definitely a big factor. Everything should be on key in at least along the right lines of the right, at least in scale, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I personally don't realize when someone is or isn't DJing in key. Maybe
It's hard to tell.
is it?
It's hard to tell. I mean, like I said, unless they have like a vocal loop going over
Mhm.
the intro
That
of a
makes a lot
song,
of sense,
and
yeah.
it's just not. But if the vocal loop's over like the drop, you probably won't tell because, like I said, it's fucking atonal.
Do you DJ in key?
Let me answer it this way. I don't know if I'm mixing in key, but I'm not intentionally mixing in key, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know,
it might
yeah.
sound like it is.
Do you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
use
So you just don't really check
alphanumeric?
it, but you might be
You
doing
use
it.
alphanumeric, right?
I might be mixing in key,
Right.
but I'm not intentionally trying to mix in key because I'm
Gotcha.
going back to what Robert says. Like I usually like base a lot of my sets and playlists like seeing if like this song goes well with like the next track after, or like
Yeah.
if these three tracks next to each other will be a good combo to play like back and forth. I have been paying a little bit much more attention just to see like differences in like you said, like how the bass line and all that since like blend together in key and then in and off of key. So that's something I've been paying a little bit much more attention, but it's not something I'm intentionally like mixing when I'm like live performing. Like it's
Yeah.
usually just like if does this song sound better or does this song sound good with the song that I played before or after.
Do you guys use? So I'm assuming you use the alphanumeric, right? So you see 7A, 2A, all that shit as
I
your
see
keys.
it. I just don't pay
What
attention
What
to
is your like? Do you ever have just like a solid? Because I want to say a lot of our songs are just D minor. They're all 7A.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like the lowest sub note, you know. So I like to write my songs with like that heaviest fucking bass. But that's just personal preference.
I don't want to say like I do have just one, but I could say for this when it comes to
Do you have a favorite?
F minor, I think, when it comes to dubstep, because that's
Mhm.
something like that's natural in production, especially when I'm
Yeah.
producing.
Mhm.
You'll get a lot of samples in F minor, especially for dubstep and stuff. So, yeah, F minor is something that I would think that's probably a go-to, especially when I'm producing. That's something I'm always going to. So,
Mhm. F minor also goes really well into everything else
Does
because it's in the middle. So I think it's technically, I think on the wheel it's 5A is the letter for F minor, and it's close to 7A, and it's close to like 9A
I don't know.
and 10 and
He
2.
got mad at me because I was not alphanumeric for the
No,
letters.
he had the actual keys. I don't like.
That's how I was mixing.
Well, so exactly because you didn't care about the key, it didn't matter.
I didn't care about the
That was something that me like I was just fucking tweaking about.
damn,
He
that's
did fine.
fuck. It's so crazy because I've never judged. And well, obviously now since because you know what you know, you're the way you judge things is in a totally different perspective now.
Yeah.
That's wild. Because I don't even judge things how you would judge things because that's not even what I'm listening for. You're listening for something totally different.
That's why anytime Leighton has something to say about like mixing, I will completely like I will absorb that in as a sponge because it's nice to hear that I can break those rules.
And see, I feel like that's another reason why duos work so
Mhm.
well is because, like how I said, you're listening to something else than you're listening to, you know.
Yeah.
So that way, you guys are able to shoot it back and forth, and you're able to find a good middle, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
your guys' middle is amazing, you know.
It's been working out pretty well, you know, and
Until we're in a tour bus together going around the states, and I just
Oh,
want
then
to
I'm not.
fucking murder him.
Yeah.
Two different tour buses.
I've been with this
Oh,
fucker
yeah.
for 30 days. Get him out of my fucking sight.
if you fart one more fucking time, you know, like some dumb shit. But it's honestly it's worked very, very well with us. The cohesiveness that we have together, and just like not only as you know artists, but as friends as well. It makes a huge difference because we're very open-minded to just about everything. Like I
Damn, bro.
love hearing different perspectives on music.
Mm.
So
Just kiss already, dog.
I mean, I was, shit, bro. So, but it's I am happy to say that I've gotten him a little bit out of his comfort zone because he'll watch me do some stuff on the decks like spin back, you know, transitions or double drops or anything, and so it's nice and starting to. I don't know why, but lately I actually blame Swoop for this. Spiral. I've been fucking with Spiral a lot, the FX, and then I'll throw in space or a high pass filter. And if you want to really wash out a track to like throw some vocals in, just give it a shot.
Yeah, that
See
little
how it
technique
sounds.
like upped my my mixing a lot because now I
Yeah.
can go into ignoring the keys because I would always go key to key. He taught me this little tricks, and now it's like way easier to transition into another key without it being too noticeable.
It's just an echo
Or
with
any
a reverb.
BPM, you could go into any BPM after this little effects wash. And you were doing some stuff like that too at the low, and you were
Mhm.
washing it out pretty fast and then bringing in the other
So
song
you're like
because you changed tempos a lot during that set.
Yeah, I was doing
you're
a lot of
talking about
reverb
dub
stuff.
echo.
Like
Yeah.
reverb stuff.
That's what-
Dub echo and reverb
Dub
stuff.
echoes.
reverb out. Okay, so like the
Spiral's like a combination of like delay, reverb, and
Echo.
echo. Yeah,
It's a really good like echo reverb, and then once you throw on like a high pass filter or like a space,
it's what
with
you
it,
hear at the end of every set when they just wash it out and it's just thank you so much, and like that's that effect.
You know what
It's
I've been
like
kind of doing lately, and
What?
it's been kind of like working for me. I've been just throwing the reverb effect on the master.
Oh, on both of them?
Yeah, on the master. Yeah, just on both of them.
I'm so scared to use that sometimes.
And I just do it just because like I just don't have to like. For me, it just seems like it just still seems clean enough for me to do it. Just so I'm not worrying about like switching it over to track 1 or track 2.
Okay,
like,
I was doing that with like the filter. Yeah, for sure. So
as long as you know that the effects is on the master, then like you could kind of navigate it that way. But that's something I've been doing lately to wash out like from one track to the other, like, and then adding the dub echo on it too. It helps out a lot.
Saves lives. We
Or
talked
space.
about that last
Big
time.
facts.
Yeah.
But dub echo definitely saves lives. Thank you, Pioneer. Big shout out, Pioneer.
I used to just do filter and then hit that echo.
Yup.
Type shit,
What's your
but
guys'
that's too
least
much.
favorite effect?
Roll.
Roll. You don't fuck with roll?
I don't fuck with roll.
How
dude.
come you don't fuck with roll?
I have tried it so many times to my failure,
yeah, it just
and I've adjusted the time on it. You know, I'd be down to like 1/16 or up by like 4, and just try to roll it and try to like figure out different ways, like maybe even added like another effect, and I can just never get it. It's not that it's a bad effect. It's just I'm not capable of using it. I'm just not very good at it.
I don't
so.
like the flanger very
Bro,
much.
I was
love
just about to
flanger.
say that.
You don't like flanger?
I get that it's for like house,
I was about to
but
say,
I don't
hate
even
when
like it.
house
I don't
DJs.
even like it when house DJs
They're
use
just
it.
playing their track and then
I don't like it. Like
Ooh, I got you, didn't I?
I don't fucking like it.
What the?
I
Everyone
enjoy
could've
it.
just done what you did, fam.
I know every time. Yeah, you were throwing it on that one song we were
Haters,
practicing. And I was
haters.
like, stop,
fucking haters.
stop it.
Haters.
I was
I'm
get rid of
not-
haters.
look,
Get
look,
yourself,
bro.
Bro, look, I'm saying this here and now, right? But when I'm out there and a house
You
DJ
don't
does
use
it,
that shit.
damn right, I'll be like, woo! Like, I'm gonna be like, you feel me? But
He's
like,
gonna stop the entire show and be like, I watched that fucking podcast. Don't you woo at me, motherfucker. No, I
Hater.
no,
Don't like the
you just asked my
flanger.
the least favorite, FX. You feel me? That's what it is.
I feel
it's
you on it.
Big
It's my
big
least
haters on
fucking
it.
favorite.
I don't
Adjust
get it.
adjust the time. Adjust the time.
Is there any button on the mixer that doesn't need to be there?
Sync.
Hey!
Ah!
Yo, I don't care if you use sync, but at least fucking turn it off for the
Thank
next guy.
Yes.
I don't care if you use it. Everyone judges people if you use it. I don't give a fuck. Just turn it off for the next fucking
You
guy.
know what?
So if I start my set and suddenly my dubstep song is like a fucking hardcore song, and it's
I've never. So I did this.
I'm not the only one.
No,
Be good,
dude,
be
and
good.
somebody left it on, but most of my set was at 150. So I was chilling, and I didn't really notice because I was like, BPMs are matching up, we're fine.
Right. You get
And I was hitting my shit, and I was like, I am doing well today.
I'm
Like I'm
doing
just
well.
smashing this shit. And I was playing the Kai Wachi Satisfaction remix, which is at 75,
Oh my god.
and it brought it up to 160.
doubled it.
Oh my
And so all you hear is Satisfaction. And I just played it off. I was like, hey, you guys are hard style. Like,
hey, I feel that.
and they were like, yeah, this is sick. It's a wee. And it just,
But I actually fucking loved it. I was like, I loved that remix. He's like, I accidentally just left the fucking sync on. I was like, oh shit.
Bro, I went to go play at a festival up north, and I didn't know. I totally forgot the sync button even existed, fam.
As you should.
I'm not
should.
even bullshitting you. I played my first track. It was supposed to be a bass house track, and it's playing at like 145 or something like that. So it's going like
Fast.
speed house and shit, and people are fucking with it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let's just pretend like I'm doing some shit, and I just dubbed it out and like the next song I just adjusted it and whatnot. But I was like, bro, fuck you. Like I blame myself because I should have known. I should have looked at what the fuck was going on, but
I'm
sync
glad
button,
I'm
bro.
glad it's kind of difficult to it might not be for some people, but for me at least it's difficult to kind of like navigate when it's like put your track back to its original tempo, all that
Well, I'm
bullshit.
sitting there like this.
So, but like, because I learned on Serato, you can turn that shit on and off like so easy, and
Yeah.
you don't have to adjust anything.
Exactly.
So, like, I'm kind of glad that once I jumped onto CDJs, I was like, I don't know how to use this, so I never even like bothered with it. I was like, that's just a pain in the ass to try and
been-
like move. And sometimes when you put it at the original tempo, it doesn't fucking work. So,
I have been getting better at if like I have a track at 140, 145, and I'm going up to 150, is the slightest thing that I just started doing, because used to I would just kind of try to adjust it during the track, but now I just do it during the build up. So
Yeah.
no one really notices.
no one notices.
And it was just like the simplest thing that I never thought of. And so just moving it, even if it's 10 BPMs and people don't fucking notice.
Were you doing those in the drops?
Yes.
You were moving the tempo in the drops.
Fuck yeah, I was. And guess what?
I hate that.
That was the first thing I learned about mixing was change the BPM during the build up.
Not a
I'm not
damn
with
person
you two.
noticed.
That's what I'm doing.
Not a damn person noticed. They're like, "Oh, sick." You're
No, yeah,
fucking-
And like,
Yeah.
if you're doing music with vocals in it,
yes.
when you start changing the BPM when they're saying
'Cause
something,
it
Yeah,
goes
you can
from-
hear it.
yeah.
All we got is time. You know.
No, but what I do like doing though is setting the tempo key. What is it? Tempo lock on.
Oh, the master
So
tempo.
or
Yeah.
whatever it is. So that way, when I am moving the BPM, like it stays.
It stays in
pitch.
key.
That way, when you
Yeah.
are like moving it from 128 to 150 during the build up,
Yeah.
or like even like during a segment where like there's vocals and like
Mhm.
maybe the pitch change can be like very obvious.
Yeah.
The master tempo lock can just like really disguise it, and like it'll just be a nice blend from tempo change.
That's
and
the
shit.
first thing I
100%.
turn on when I get to the decks.
Feel
Because
that.
sometimes
Master
I'm like
tempo.
listening to a song, and even though it's still going hard, I'm like, it sounds weird. I'm like, I don't like the way it sounds right now. I was like, oh, because when they're singing, you notice it the most when they're singing and it's all pitch slow.
Yeah.
I'm like, the female suddenly sounds like a guy, and I'm like, this isn't right.
or it
like-
just sounds like a chipmunk and shit.
Yeah, or it's really high pitched. Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the easiest thing you could tell is like a consumer. Like that's the first thing you'll notice is
Mhm.
why does that not sound like the original?
Mhm.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like the vocal.
I didn't pay for this.
Fuck.
Real quick question for you guys: what's something that before you guys started DJing, or you even knew like all the rules or what a DJ was necessarily? What did you think a DJ was?
I used to shit on EDM so hard when I
Oh,
was in a
yeah.
metal band. It's like
I-
those fuckers are just pressing play. But like, I was one of those straight up. I got fucking humbled when I started mixing. I came from a band, I thought I was like tough shit because I was playing guitar, singing at the same time. I'm like, look at these guys mixing out their laptop. Fucking Skrillex. Like I shot on it so hard. And I got some humility checks as soon as I
I-
started DJing.
I got humbled real fast because my buddy used to bring his laptop out to the field with us. Like we'd be training, and he would bring his laptop out on virtual DJ and just sit there and like kind of mix a little bit. And I was like, "Pfft, whatever, dude. And then I tried to start DJing off my laptop with Serato, and I was like, all right, fucking, why isn't that not lining up? And then like trying to fucking with it, and then trying to do a drop in the middle of another melody. I'm like, yeah, that sounded sick, or like something. Be like, oh, it sounded like shit. But it's that and looping. Looping when I first started was such a struggle for me.
I still can't loop. I don't loop.
On
It's-
CDJs, I don't loop either.
I don't loop.
Really?
No,
I do it for house,
bro.
Yeah, for a house.
Or techno.
For a house, it's a lot easier to keep
which
track
I
of.
really want to do a techno set, and I've been trying to push for.
I'm totally
I
down
think
to
we
do
should do like a
fucking
deep
set.
techno, like a Will Sparks.
do that
Like
shit.
I would love it because I've been fucking with it lately. I don't know what. Maybe I'm getting older.
Is that what it is? Getting older, we're just
Fine,
more
bro,
inclined.
Don't say that, 'cause
I'm only-
I think that's what it is.
I'm only
Oh,
24
shit.
because they give you that.
What?
What's that? The 25 rule or 27 rule?
Oh,
Because they
cool.
say when you hit 27 is
26.
someone asked me,
I'm 26.
Same,
brother,
I'm
you got a
getting there.
year. So
Oh, shit.
fucking they
We got a year.
Next
bro.
year we're gonna be techno. heads.
Ah, damn.
somebody fucking told me
Lose
they're
the
like
tempo techno.
that'd be sick. But they told me they're like, how old are you? I think at the time I was like, I'm 22. Like, oh, that's why you still DJ dubstep. I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? They're like, well,
I've heard that
when you
before
when
too.
you hit 27, you're gonna lose all interest, and you're just gonna go to like house and techno. And I was like, no, absolutely not. And then now that I turned 25 in like 2 months, and I'm sitting there like, techno sounds pretty good,
You've heard you've heard my rebrand, and I hate that you're saying this because a lot of them are house songs, and I'm like, oh fuck.
And I'm pretty sure y'all will still pull up for like an automate show. Like if it still came through and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would.
I wanna rave to the grave, dude. Like I love fucking festivals. I just think it's just such a spectacular
I
experience.
love
I could see myself doing it for a long time. Maybe not going as hard, like going blackout drunk and shit, but like
Facts.
definitely slow down. But like I saw this old couple at Lost Lands, they just brought their fucking chairs, posted up on the lawn. I was like, I could see myself fucking doing that. Like I'll still love the music,
Yeah.
Like I love the energy.
I
It's the
never
energy.
want to get tired of a heavy bass.
Will I stand forever? Probably not. But
No, it's if I have to DJ in a wheelchair, I'll do it. As long as I just play the music,
Well, honestly, I
We can
feel
push.
the age cap with bass music, especially. I don't last long in these shows, fam. I don't do it anymore.
I don't last long with minimal rhythm.
Minimal rhythm.
So it's like
It depends on the show. If the show's
and then
good,
like
you know,
like
you don't
some
even
sick
notice.
doubles with it, you know, I'll be like, all right, 15 minutes of it. But if there's an hour of it, I'll be like, okay, I need to fuck man, I need to take a seat.
Bro, after 2-3 hours of any show, I'm done. Like I'm
I'm
Dude,
not
we
gonna
were
lie.
we were
I need to
fucking
sit.
toast at the low end show.
Oh,
I was just
man.
I was dancing all fucking night though, and 1 a.m. ran around. I was like, I am old.
And
I am old.
I'm sober now, so it's
Yeah, we weren't
I-
even drinking. We didn't
No.
have
so it was just Red Bulls and water, like
the Red Bulls was
Salute,
what
my
did
man.
it to
Liquid
me,
Death.
though.
Sponsor us. But
Hey.
I have cases of these in my house. I always keep Liquid Deaths on me. The Buried Alive, definitely give it a go if you like sparkling water. But super good. And it's like that's what I've been surviving on. Like I'll go to bars and clubs and like obviously like I'm tempted by alcohol, but I choose not to.
But I
And,
feel like that's what fucking gay. I'm starting to think. I was like, it's been since I've been sober. I've been tired of shit at shows. When you're drunk, the night's just like over. You don't even know you're fucking tired. You know? Yeah, you're like, oh, we have to go home. But like when you're sober and like really aware of every moment that goes by, you start to get
the
tired.
good part is like I can remember the sets.
Yeah,
because
I can
used
remember
to-
the sets.
I used to get blacked out and DJ and then come off and then I ask people, be like, did that sound okay? They're like, yeah, man, you sounded great. Like, I don't fucking remember one song I played. But now I can remember the sets and I could talk coherently to people after, get social medias, you know, talk to other, you know, managers as well, get booked for more shows and I'm coherent. And, you know, but I enjoy it. I like sobriety, honestly.
That's good.
It's it was hard at first, I'm not gonna lie, but now it's so easy. I'll go to shows, and then if I'm tired, guess what? I get to drive home. I don't have to Uber. I don't have to do nothing else. I'll just drive home. So, mad easy.
I tried that. I didn't try it. I was like sober for like I want to say a good 6 months. Well, I don't know. I still smoked a little bit. But
You're
not
California sober.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would go to shows and like people would offer me drinks and it would be weird. I'd be like, nah, I'm cool. And they're like, oh, you don't drink? And I'd be like, nah. They're like, good for you. I'm like,
Oh, nice. It gives that good feeling.
It's good for me, but I mean, I'm bored.
Because like after like when you're dancing and you're drunk, nothing hurts. When I'm dancing and I'm sober, I'm like,
You feel
My
that
back.
shit.
my back. I need better insoles.
I need alcohol.
Yeah, it's so bad. But like even last night, I only danced for a little bit, and then we obviously like dance on stage and whatnot. And then afterwards, I was sitting in my car like, you know, trying to stretch out.
It's funny because I don't feel it in my body, but I feel it in my feet. As soon as I get in
My
my
feet,
car to
Oof.
drive home, my feet are just like pulsing. Like,
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
so
"God
rough.
damn it."
It's so rough.
For sure.
Invest in insoles, dude. It'll change your
Insoles.
life.
Yeah. What do you guys recommend?
Dr. Scholl's. I mean, it's just easy.
There's another brand.
Would you say Dr. what?
Dr. Scholl's.
Scholl's?
It's like SCHOLS.
I think it's called New Feet. New Feet. I put it in like my boots because working in boots suck. So
That's true.
especially when you got to wear them like 5 days a week, it's mad annoying. And then when you're on duty and like it's a 24-hour duty and you have to walk around and like check everything, oh bro, and you can't take them off.
Salute, fam. I don't understand how you could lace up every morning and go to. That's
Dude, it's-
too much time to even get in.
I didn't have to march around in boots, but when I worked security, I had to wear the boots, and standing in one spot too is fucking miserable. I mean, when you're not moving, no chair, and you're just standing there for all like 6 hours of the
Hell
concert,
no.
you start to fucking feel it.
Hell
I
It's-
had to
yeah.
get something in those boots.
Insoles save lives. And then like
And
when
your
you,
back, it helps your back
Mhm.
because it gives you better support.
we used to do like, 10-mile hikes with like an 80-pound ruck, and you can tell. I did one in steel toes
Yeah.
Why?
because I was an idiot and I was young. I was like 18, 19, and I was like, I'm fucking indestructible. Brother, I was not. My brother in Christ, my knees were gone.
Dude, I feel like DJing music production, like that comes with its own like damage to your muscles too. Like, right, especially when you're
back's
making music.
fucked.
Like,
He was telling
Same.
My back
he
is
was telling me
fucked.
yesterday. He was like, I'm blind as fuck, and I'm like, why? He's like, because I sit in front of a
That
computer
too.
screen.
I have the blue filter lenses too, but it was a little bit too late for that. I've been doing it for years.
Oh, damn.
I can't see
every
shit
day,
anymore.
bro. I'm sitting in front of that laptop doing something
Every
bro.
day.
Dog,
for at least 2 to 3 extensive periods of time.
Extensive.
Dog, I'm 24 years old. I wear hearing aids. I don't have them in right now, but they're Bluetooth though.
Oh shit.
I do sign language, but they're Bluetooth, and I can play music like through them throughout the day. So
that happened to my dad. He lost hearing in his right ear
Mhm.
from the military and
Right.
stuff. So he has a Bluetooth like hearing aid, and this motherfucker he's like, I don't want this shit. Like
Hell
he
yeah.
just doesn't even put it in.
dude, they're so annoying. They're so annoying, and like
They
plus,
look cool.
I'm so young, and then people are like, "Oh, you wear hearing aids?" Like, I'm sorry, and like people automatically assume that I got like blown up or something. Like, no, it's just I'm around loud shit all the time, all the time.
Just
I
make
always-
up a cool story, bro.
I always feel bad at shows
I
because
saved 6 children from an explosion on base. You didn't hear about it. It's pretty low key.
And there's no explosions, no nothing. The way I actually injured the ear is when I got off, I fell into a puddle and got water in my ear, and the bacteria.
I wasn't even there. I just heard about it on the news, and I tripped down the stairs.
Yeah, that's actually what happened.
But
What
Oh,
were you
man.
saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, I sometimes feel bad at shows because if I forget my earplugs, I'm standing in the back because these are my fucking tools. You know, I feel like if I feel like I'm not like dancing and giving whoever's like performing who I go to see like all my energy, like I always feel like I'm not supporting in the right way. But like those shows are fucking dubstep shows are fucking loud, dude. If I don't have my earplugs, I'll be in the back, and I always feel bad for it sometimes. But like your ears can go quick, especially at festivals. The fucking 16 feet high wall of speakers.
Let me ask you guys this: Are you guys the type of people that really like to be close to the stage?
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
What about you?
Not for a long period of time now. I feel like back then I was definitely wanting to be like in the rail or be like very front, just so I could be like hear the full like sound experience. Cause I've always felt like getting to the front, like you definitely get like the maximum like loudness, and like me being ignorant with like me not respecting my ears and shit. I just want to fucking hear it loud, right? But nowadays, like I rather just I'm fine perfectly. Like you know how you mentioned about being at Lost Lands and seeing that couple like with their chairs just kicking it. Like I'm starting to see more. I'm trying to
You're starting to see the appeal of that.
well, the thing is, yeah, as you get older, like your muscles are definitely aging out, and I'm starting to see myself a little bit more like in the mid crowd or back, just relaxing a bit more, not really like going too ham or like moving too much or raging or in the pits like that. Not like that anymore as I used to back then. Because back then, like when I was young, at 18, for sure I like to be in the front on the rail, and then now I'm just like I'm cool with just being like to the side or just like in the back, and I got a little cool space around. I like to have a little space now for sure now, and when you go to the front or you get a little bit.
I mean, I don't go
closer
to the
back.
front at fucking festivals anymore. No fucking way. One, I like to dance, and there's like room to dance in the back. When you're in the front, you're just fucking shoulder to shoulder touching everybody. Like, yeah, it's loud, but like I need fucking space.
I feel like I never was really one to even like think about, oh, is this too loud for me? Because I'm not one to be in a crowd. I'm not one to want to be really in the front. I want to be in the back where I can see all the visuals, where I can see everything that's going on. I can see the show, and I could be a good distance from people. Honestly, I'm very like to myself. I'm not the biggest fan of going to festivals. I like going to them when there's cool artists where I'm like, yeah, I gotta go see these people. Yeah. But other than that, I think like my first like rave festival experience kind of like turned you
off to it.
It was fun. Don't get me
wrong. Real quick.
So don't get me wrong. It was fun. It was hot. It was hard summer. They had this was a day that
that's fair.
They did it in like it started in 12 in the afternoon or something like that.
Yep.
And it ended at like
it used to start early in the day.
And it was hot
as fuck.
So then like I was trying to go see some of my favorite artists, and then there was a bunch of people without their shirts, sweaty as fuck, just walking past me.
Oh.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So I just was like, okay, maybe I don't need to be in the pit. I could enjoy it from back here. I could drink without spilling my drink, like,
Yeah.
And I think that's
hard summer can easily kill your whole fucking vibe. One, the crowd's a whole lot different.
Yeah.
It's not like that more traditional like plur crowd. because it kind of attracts like a more mainstream artist, which attracts a lot more dickheads. But
I feel like
the heat, like I know exactly. They didn't do a hard. I went this year, but because it was at the NOS and it started way later. It was like
Later,
7.
right?
I went. I was probably a seasoned raver by the time I went to my first hard summer, and that almost killed it for me.
Really?
It was like 109 all black tarmac. It was when they had it at the Speedway, in
Okay.
San Bernardino Speedway.
what,
It was
2015
fucking
maybe or something
hot.
like
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
hot as all hell. Everyone like water was just hard to come by. Too fucking big. And
That's
I
what
was
I
just like-
heard. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is just not.
it was I mean, you said it. Hard summer kind of attracts more the mainstream people.
Oh yeah,
That's been happening with every festival now.
it's getting more popular. For
It's
sure.
it's a two-edged sword of like
For
EDM is
sure.
becoming a
People
more
see it as a-
mainstream thing.
People
and-
see it as a place to party.
yeah,
You know,
it's
and
clout.
there,
It's
of
clout.
course, everyone, you can't deny the fact that EDM music has always kind of had that vibe.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, with like the traditional like player community, everyone was, in the weirdest way to say, responsible with their responsibilities of doing drugs. You know, but everyone was kind of doing it in like a safe environment where everyone would take care of each other. Now you have like a lot of bros going, getting like way too fucking hammered. You got these like,
There's dudes in mosh pits now that just
Well,
look to hurt people.
because it's crazy because
predators.
Yeah,
I see it as once everything got like glamorized, and there's certain genres that do this more than others. So I want to say like house genres. It attracts very like pretty eyes and stuff like that, and like what follows pretty, fam, like guys that just want to see pretty and stuff like
Yep.
you know it's
Yeah.
it's a whole different culture once it's mainstream now it's attracting the worst of kind of everything, you know.
And it-
Yeah, it's like it's a double-edged sword because you want to see like our scene do well and become popular. You want people to start like getting into it. But at the same time, you gotta share that room with everyone.
you want the right people to get into it. I think I'm not trying to gatekeep.
That's what I was gonna say, but like,
Yeah.
but how
Gatekeepers.
how do we gatekeep that? You know?
It's
I know I
you know, and I heard Lost Lands even this year. There was a lot of I was on Reddit, and there was a lot of bad stories about. And I'm a common courtesy person. I'm a very like, excuse me, pardon me. You know, like if I'm like in the front of the train, I'm like just trying to weave through people, and I'm a bigger person already, and so I'm just trying to like squeeze past people. Be like, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, if I knock your drink a little bit, be like, oh my god, you know, whatever. And now it's just dudes like barrel rolling through crowds, not saying shit with like a train of 13 people behind them.
You know, Lost Lands
And
is still new too. I think a lot of people forgot that like
Yeah.
only the fucking bass heads like who want to throw down. We're going to like Lost Lands. You know, this was only like its 4th or 5th year, and every year it's getting bigger and bigger, adding more stages. It used to just be 2, now there's like 5. You know, it's expanding. So with expansion comes more crowds, different people. You know, it's just something that is bound to happen. Like you can't
Yeah.
escape it. But
not,
at least we're no like Rolling Loud. Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Rolling Loud
Rolling Loud.
festivals. Like that shit
fuck
looks
that.
trash.
Fuck that, bro.
It's not
I'm not-
Astro World.
Look, if you want to go to a cool like EDM place, you got to go to a techno show, fam. I don't know. Techno
I want
does it
to.
right.
I want to,
Techno
and
does
I
it
want to
right.
be a total snob when I go. I want the glasses. I want the fit. You know,
It's crazy because I had the same
And-
thought. Like, if I really do this, bro,
I'm
let's
doing
fucking do this,
Yes.
dog. Like, I'll make it look cool
you
somehow.
you
like,
watch
let's
Blue
do
Mountain
it.
State?
What is it?
Blue Mountain State. You ever seen it?
I don't think so.
You've never seen Blue Mountain
I've
State,
seen
right?
Blue Mountain State.
Have you seen it?
It's
a
a
college
a-
movie?
Yeah, no, it's a college like
One of those
TV
American
show.
Pie movies shows.
No.
It's a
It's
TV show?
yeah, it was a TV show back in the day. Dude,
It's
look it up.
along that line. It's got a similar raunchy tone
But
of that.
well, I kind of lost it now because no one here fucking is cultured, I guess.
Sorry.
But no, definitely, I'll look into it.
Damn, I thought I was cultured.
Well, I'm here to tell you that you're not. But
I had something though.
I had something, and now it's just gone,
Gone.
now. Gone.
No, true. Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you guys got coming for us in the future, dog? Like, what's coming out for Downcast?
A
lot.
Which
I
okay,
had to
so
laugh, yeah, oh, we got
It's-
some shit, man.
well, very soon after Slightly Spooky, we're gonna drop a single. You've heard it. and if you want to play it actually at the end, or,
Undesirable, sure.
yeah, Undesirable.
that.
That one's coming out. I know you've heard it. I believe you've heard it as well, but it's a really big banger of a track. All the crowds have loved it every time we played it,
Filthy rhythm.
and some gross rhythm. And then shows coming up next Wednesday, so the 19th. We're gonna be at Toro, San Diego, and then the 22nd we'll be playing for Retrospect.
I don't know how the fuck we're gonna fit behind that little box of Toro. Have either of you been?
You guys seen that? It's so imagine like the old 90s DJ booths, like Carl Cox and everybody was DJing behind, and then put both of us in
It's
there.
from the edge of the carpet to
Yeah.
this table right here.
It's pretty.
It's just like a little box.
Y'all make it work.
Well, we're gonna
Oh,
make it fucking
yeah.
work.
It's gonna look.
It's
a
a
little bit
dope
awkward at
club
first.
though. It is a really dope club.
Good sound.
It's
and
pretty
everything.
new. Yeah. It's
You guys
fucking
both
wild.
played there before. Yeah?
Yes, separately. We played.
I think I've seen you guys posted on your little stories separately.
it's always a good time. It's a good crowd that always comes through, and it's very odd that on a Wednesday,
Wednesday night, people show up. Packed room.
They've packed it, and
Shout out
actually,
Seismic, dude. You
Yeah.
guys throw some
last time
decent
I played
shows.
there,
Really good.
Was it like 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks
Yeah, it
ago?
was about 2 weeks.
Autocorrect was there and just like chilling out, and I was like, "You're autocorrect," and he was like, "Hey," I was like, "All right, good to meet you," But then that Saturday, the 22nd is gonna be slightly spooky for Retrospect, so really excited for that one. Nice little costume party, which is always a great time.
Do you guys have a costume you guys are going as?
I don't have. I'm still
got
uncreative when
these-
it comes to costumes.
I've got a.
He's
I
got
don't
some
know.
ideas.
I've got some ideas, but
He's gonna be a cowboy.
A cowboy?
I might be a cowboy. I haven't decided yet. But
If he's a cowboy, you gotta be buzzed, bro. What's up?
That'd be dope, boy.
fuck, this is
Run
right.
it.
All right.
We need to
Run it.
outsource. But so that, and then near future, well, in the future, EP is gonna drop with Downcast name on it.
I'm sitting on like at least.
What, 8? Oh,
We're almost at like
pump those numbers
30
up.
now.
God damn.
And
Tracks just sitting on them for right now. I mean, none of them are near finished. I have mad ADHD now. I just started tracking and just keep starting them. I get to a point where they're like finished enough, like just the drop portion, because then it's really easy to like what we are talking about earlier, the pre-mixing. I can just pre-mix it like over like a popular song and then just drop like our edit. It's an edit until I make it an original.
Original.
Basically.
he's also got me to deal with that comes up with ideas and stuff that I
He
want.
keeps showing me songs and I was like, yeah, let's make an edit. And we
Yeah,
just keep.
and so
We watched
Skittles.
Skittles. But so I found this really cool Bring Me the Horizon remix that I hadn't heard any DJ play it yet. And it was like brand new on SoundCloud. I was like, fuck yeah, this is perfect for my arsenal. So we were performing with it or practicing, but we didn't get to play our first show with it yet. And then Skittles, she dropped it, but not only did she drop it, she doubled it, and she fucking like, because I was just playing the remix, but she doubled it, and it was so fucking cool. I was like, God damn, like I can't compete with that. So I remade the whole freaking song. I took his remix and just made my own remix. I was like, well, now I gotta play something like original to it. And so that just kind of keeps happening. So now I've got like
You're not the only one that's happened to
30
before.
drops waiting to be real songs.
It's we do have a lot, and
So
we have
is it gonna be all heavy stuff? Because I know, like you said, this track that's
No,
coming
there's some
out's heavy.
melodic stuff in
Yeah.
there.
Are you gonna still do future based stuff? Too?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think probably the best EP I've heard variety wise in a long time, like a few years now, was Kid, his Find Paradise EP. He threw future bass, he threw techno, he threw deep techno, he threw dubstep, everything in there. And he even said it in an interview. He was like, I don't want to be labeled as only this type of producer. And so he threw everything in there and crushed every single track that was in there.
It lends
So-
to our sets being already pretty diverse too. So when we put out singles, it's not going to be like a getter moment where everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Like if you've seen our sets, you know that we go through the whole fucking catalog. And I want to also have music that kind of just reflects that. Like, don't box yourself in. I mean, it sucks that it happened to Getter, but like it happened. Like he boxed himself in. It was kind of like too abrupt. You know, he could have kind of like built upon it. slowly gotten to
You
that
should've
point.
put out some singles. and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly. But instead, he just dropped a whole album, and everyone was expecting dubstep. Yeah, but we got everything in left field, future bass, rhythm, dubstep, metal.
It's cool to see you produce everything that you would already be playing in your sets, anyways.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I'm ready to see like some alternative metal type stuff, like original from you, because I feel like
we'll show you guys. I brought my laptop just
You
so I
guys,
could show
you
you guys.
guys
'cause
don't
I
get to
want-
see, but we'll show you.
I wanted
guys.
you guys to hear and see what you guys thought about it.
It's and this is it the one I'm thinking of that was gonna add the choir?
Yeah,
Okay.
focusing a lot on song building, because as much as I love me just like a simple dubstep song that I can just get to the drop, I really want songs to like go somewhere. I actually just saw Rufus Du Sol a couple days ago. The whole set was just fucking moving, and it just like went somewhere. And I like music that also does that. So,
You gotta tell a story.
I'm trying to really break up and right after the drop or like the final series of drops, have a bridge. Like that's something like a lot of songs don't have, is like a bridge. There's always like an intro, verse, chorus, but having a bridge can really like change up shit. And playing real instruments. Been playing my guitar on a lot of tracks too, so that kind of helps.
It's gonna be a really, really awesome EP. I'm excited for it. I know he's excited for it. We've got
I'm excited for it, fam.
and
What?
I hope a lot of people are excited for it. And even with the small following that we may have on social media right now, word is already getting out, about Downcast. And I mean, it's as Convict and as Embers both getting booked, and they know that we already put on a show. So if you put two of these fuckers on stage at the same time, Jesus, and but also looking in the future, bigger venues. So he was talking about for the 2 to 3 years. It's going to be sooner. I will say that. But
Dope.
and then on top of that, EPKs is what I'm focusing on right now. Getting everything ready for that. Building a resume, more shows, more contacts, more collectives, and just honestly having fun. Like I don't want to make this a job. This isn't a job. This is us having fun. And
No,
this
bro,
is
you have a job. This is not a job, fam.
this is a passion I think both of us share, and put a lot of heart and soul into, blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm doing it with my best friend. So yeah, I'm done hyping you up. By the way, it's nothing but shit
It
talking.
was
on the way home.
cute. I was gonna say something. I just totally like fucking flooded
So
out of my brain.
this is the portion where we actually get into the casting couch now. I'm glad you guys are here.
Oh,
Let's
brother.
fucking go.
I knew this was
That's
coming.
why he was hyping you up the whole time. I hope you know.
I knew
It's
this.
the foreplay.
I knew this podcast wasn't free.
Gotta pay your debt somehow, dude. Gotta recoupment, dog.
But I think you guys will like what we're coming up with. I'm like you said, I am really fucking excited. I'm also nervous, like you guys do know, like putting your music out there on the line like can be nerve wracking sometimes,
Super nervous.
But I gotta send you guys this this post that some guy was just kind of ranting on Instagram. I think he's an artist of some type. I think he like paints, but he put out. My friend Lucy showed me this post, and it was all. He breaks it down so well to just words and like how an artist is feeling, and like sometimes when you're making music, the thought of, oh, this is fun, sometimes isn't even in your mind. It's like, oh, are people gonna like this? And sometimes you stop and wait for a second, even though you think it's really cool. You're like doubting yourself, and like that sometimes is so hard to deal with. And I feel like only musicians that's why we have that bond, is because we all kind of understand at some fundamental level that like we experience a lot of the same doubts, feelings, but I don't know. Maybe you guys just don't even. Maybe you're like, yeah, fuck it. Everyone's gonna love this fucking song.
Because it's the emotion that goes into the music, and then you're thinking like, as you're making it, you're like, okay, this is cool. I feel dope. Like, but then when you're done with it, and then you listen to it, and then you think, are people gonna like what I like? Like, am I really that? Is my ear is what everything like I put together? What everyone is like looking for, like it's something that you think about, like it's a lot of I don't want to say self doubt, but like I feel like at a point it is, and that's just something we have to get over.
It's scary.
And,
I think it's scary, and this is what the post said, and I related with it the most. I think it's scarier for it to be ignored than for it to be disliked, in my personal opinion. Like, I feel like I could take some fucking heat and be like, well, you could change this and this, and honestly didn't like it, or someone's just like, oh, it's shit. You know, that's fine. He fucking listened to it. But if like he listened to it, what if people don't fucking listen to it? They see it on Instagram and they just scroll right past you. Like, I live to make an impact with my music, and like so I think that's like one of my biggest fears and insecurities as an artist, is it being ignored. Like, that's scary. Like, you're just not even a blip on the map.
I feel like that's happened to me a lot. I mean, before like the Zion Dawn project, I put music out on other aliases and like almost little to no plays, and it's just like fuck, like. But I didn't like at the same time, I didn't make it so that other people have to listen to it. I made it because fuck, I needed to express myself, and I was bored. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to make art. So at the end of the day, like, okay, no one listened to it. Why didn't no one listen? Then that's just, you got to go back to the drawing board. It's not because your art wasn't good. Like, I feel like that's the thing that most people think like, I'm gonna put this out. If no one listens to it, damn, it wasn't good. No, bro, no one knows if it was good or not. No one listened.
Yeah, no one listened to it.
Yeah. So it's just, you just don't know how to release music yet to the mass. That's all it is. It's not your music sucks or your art is bad. It's just learning how to put out your music and market
is an important thing to learn. It's just learning how to put it out. Step one. I know so many talented artists that are just sitting on so many amazing songs that are just too afraid to put them out because either their fear of getting rejected or their fear of being ignored, what I just said, but they're just sitting on so much music and they just need to learn how to just put it out. And you just got to see. You just have to see. And then the best thing about making music is that you make another fucking song.
There you go.
It's not like you should have faith in the ability in yourself that you know that I can do this again and now I can make it better.
And I feel like maybe some people do this or think about getting into music wrong. They're thinking, I just need to make one, and that's
wrong.
That's
no artist that's big has ever fucking.
No, bro. I don't think I could just make. I think I can make a shitload, bro. If I think I can make one, oh no, I can make another one, fam. Watch. Like, that's how my mind thinks of it. Like, if I just did this because I just wanted to make one banger track, I think I would have stopped years ago or something. Like, I feel like, you know, when I first started producing, maybe like the first or second track, at that time I thought it was a banger. I could have just stopped there, but I don't think we got into it just to make one banger.
It's like getting tattoos. Like, you have one, but another one's gonna look just as sick. So,
like, I love going to like the bottom of Sundeath SoundCloud, just listening to the first things they ever put out, and I like being able to listen to artists' progressions, you know. And no artist that's relevant today doesn't have those progressions. You know what happens with those one fucking bangers? If you were to look at it, like, it's on a graph. All the successful artists go like this. The one hit wonders go this, and then right back fucking down.
And
then what?
Look, and as scary as even putting out music was, I'm pretty sure being at the bottom after you were at the top is even fucking worse. Scarier, bro. Like, I don't want that as my trajectory, bro, because that's hard. Imagine getting a hit and then being like, do it again. Like,
I also kind of hate having like hits. I wish I had an even spread. I don't like the songs that I have on my SoundCloud that have the most plays, because like sometimes I'm like, why did that one do so well? Now I want to like how am I gonna top that or make something that's like that, or why did people like that? Like, I don't like having that one song that's just, I've got this fucking Heathens remix on my SoundCloud. It's got almost 10,000 plays, and that's the highest I've ever got. I'm usually in like the 2 to 3. This one almost has 10. I'm like, what? It was like a song I made in a fucking night, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Boom. A song I made as a joke for my friend's birthday. It was just some rhythm track. Boom. Fuck, it's got. And I'm like, what the fuck? And now I'm like trying to make rhythm, but I'm not like in like the mindset to make rhythm. So the music's coming out like shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
he was so fucking pissed when that song dropped.
I'm so mad how well that did because like I put no fucking effort into it and everyone fucking loved it. And I can't even like replicate it if I try because I was just flowing, you know. I just did it.
You think that's a detriment to music producers and music artists is being able to see that?
I hate the
analytics?
insights. Makes me so insecure.
You think you? What about you? Because I know you like the whole looking at all that, but you think it's a good thing just for an artist, not for marketing.
I think it's good for both. I mean, because when you get the insights, you could get to see like which locations are messing with you more, and then you could
That's
decide
true.
whether you want to spend more ad dollar and like strengthening like your brand in those locations, or whether you want to spend more ad dollar or marketing campaigns on like the locations that you're not popping in. So I mean, it works on both ways. It can kind of mess you up too, you know, for sure. Like if you're like definitely looking at numbers and you're not like getting numbers that you want, and then as an artist, I can mentally fuck you up. I always think of it, especially like when you're releasing music, like it doesn't matter if it's 100 or 1,000. I think it's just always cool that you're at least able to make that one connection, like with a stranger.
Yeah,
That's true.
With your music. Like I think that's like just like the minimum maximum that I'm satisfied with.
I think it's moderation of looking at your insights.
Yeah.
I wish it just wasn't fine. I wish it wasn't just automatically there on SoundCloud. I wish I had to like go look for it. Because like sometimes, I like to see where it is, but I wish it just wasn't there at all times, constantly reminding me.
That's why I like Apple
Yeah.
Music, bro. Because I think Apple Music does a great way of displaying people's musical art. Like that's how it should be. At the most, all
The
you get,
Spotify show plays.
they sort monthly
on
listeners
desktop,
and
monthly
like monthly
listeners.
listeners.
Yeah, Apple Music doesn't do any of that. Apple Music just shows your however you want your artwork to be set up, and then your tracks and features, and that's pretty much it. That's one reason why I do like Apple Music opposed to any other streaming platform that you get to see analytics to, because bro, like, and there's no comment section, there's none of that, bro. Just listen to my art
Yeah.
and call it a day. You feel me?
Dude, the comment section
there's-
on some of these bigger DJs.
tear
like,
you apart sometimes.
There's
I
fucking vision. I mean, of course, there's just like, what do you call it, trolls out there, obviously, but like sometimes the shit that they're saying in there, I'm just like,
and it's always like positive comment, and you're like, dude, I knew this was gonna take off, and there's that one dude like, what the fuck is this? And you're like, my day's ruined.
I don't
You know?
understand those people because like it took them time and energy out of their day to like fucking comment that shit.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't like it, just fucking ignore it.
Yeah.
Like why are you going out of your way to put someone down? It doesn't make sense to me. Just be a good fucking person.
Yeah, but real shit. Does a comment like a negative comment like that online, like I'll see it on SoundCloud on the track of yours? Does that shit actually let you guys like be down? Like
Not on mine personally. I feel worse for other artists when they have flack, but like
Oh, I see.
it doesn't actually personally bother me.
Yeah, because I've talked to other artists and they're like, damn, dude, I feel hella bad. I feel like I just don't feel too good when I see a negative comment. And then I get sometimes negative comments on my track, and I think about like if it bothers me, I'm just like, personally, it doesn't really bother me, but I think of it, I start thinking like, damn, like, what's the lore behind this negative comment? Like, what's the fuck? What's the reasoning? Or
I guess
I don't get like, I don't take it personal. I
base
guess.
it off a ratio. If you all got negative comments, you probably fucked up. But if
Okay,
there's one out of like 60 great comments and they're just complimenting you, but there's one fucker who doesn't like it.
I
like,
guess you're right. I
Everyone's
guess you're
always
right.
gonna have a hater. Everyone's always gonna have a
But
hater.
if you have a high ratio of
I
negative
guess you're
comments,
right.
you should
It's,
probably just take the
Okay,
track
you know
down.
what? I guess you're right.
if I
Take
just
it
see a
down.
bunch of question marks in the comments, I
Yeah,
think it's time to reevaluate that mix.
Do you make music? What?
Like, oh man, yeah, I remember my first time at
Great
Garage
idea,
Band.
poorly executed.
It's
But you know what? I'm glad you said that because that's the issue with a lot of producers is they have amazing ideas, except the execution just needs some work, fam. Like,
Yeah.
literally, that's all it is.
well, even
I'm all for critique, like critical feedback.
Yeah.
Always accepted. Don't just say it's bad. Give me a reason. Give me some direction.
for me. I mean, for me, not from a producer standpoint because I'm singled out. And it's more like listening to DJs mixes, and you can tell like if someone doesn't balance their EQs, like if they're not reading the ranges like on the mixer, if they're not looking at everything correctly, if stuff is out of volume or whatever. And I'm not a hater by any means, but if someone asks me like, what do you think of this mix, I'm gonna tell them, listen, this is great, here's what I would fix on this, I would try this next time. And I'm not being I'm not gonna be an asshole and be like, hey, whatever deck you have, just go ahead and throw that away. You know, I'm not gonna be an asshole because it's a creative expression from everybody. Everybody's got a different way of expressing it. I just think there's better ways of expressing it sometimes.
There's execution into
there is
helping someone.
Yeah, and I've definitely been there too. I definitely needed help on my mixes, and this even positive comments has fucked me because I thought this was a totally
That
dope
can
ass
sometimes
mix.
be worse.
And I send it out to all my friends and family, and they're like, "This is amazing." And then I let one random person listen to it, be like, "Who the fuck told you this was good?" You know, I want their name, I want their number. You know, like my grandma said it was great, and so I think 100% effective critiquing, you know, and really being about it and not just saying, "Hey, this sucks."
Compliment their
because you're
strengths.
ugly.
You know, let them know what they did do well.
Yeah.
And let them know what they could use work on. And you don't have to be like, you have to do it this way. Just be like, try like with Isaiah, for example. We met this awesome fucking kid named Isaiah. Unfortunately, he couldn't get into the show because it was 21 plus. Anyways, we made good friends with him. We're like, here, text us after the show, like we want to hang out. So we kind of took him in under our wing, and he's just been slamming on the CDJs. He's fucking picked it up like a fish to water, but he's also trying to produce, right? And so, you know, when I try to like help him in areas, like he's showing me his tracks, and I'm like, this is really well. Like you have your sustain bass, it's going really hard. Try experimenting with other elements that like on the offbeats to give it like some rhythm. Don't just be like, well, it sounds flat. It's like, hey, try this. You might like it. If you don't like it, try this. No, don't just tell them like.
I like lying to people and tell them that certain genres don't go together. I just did this to. He's a fairly new DJ. And he was like, I just think color bass and rhythm would go like color bass and rhythm would go super well together. And I texted him back. I was like, I don't think so. I was like, I've never heard anybody double it really well. And he was like, I've heard it. And I was like, I haven't. And he sent me like an 18-second little sample. And he was like, I recorded this just to prove you wrong. I was like, good. I was like, experiment with more of that shit. Try that next time. And he was like, you motherfucker. I was like, yeah. It's fucking Mr. Miyagi in this motherfucker.
Just playing mind tricks on them to get
a Jedi in this bitch. But
so they fix it rather out of spite. Like trying to be a better.
How just be like, oh, I love the track title name, but I hate the track. Change it. That's a good compliment, right?
Yeah.
Track title's pretty dope.
Hey, track title, honestly, sometimes that's the hardest. That's the hardest, bro.
That's fucking brutal.
Well,
Just like, yeah, the track title was dope. Oh my god.
I told him for our melodic track, I was like, dude, I'll write the lyrics. Don't worry about it. This was 3 months ago. And I told him in the car on the way down, I was like, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I haven't fucking started because I don't know where to start. But no, definitely. I think naming shit, because with Convict, I try to always keep everything like either prison related or like whatever. So one of my mixes is named like Parolee, and then one of them, the new one that I haven't released yet because I need to clean up some stuff. Shit, it's called Probation, and like some other shit, you know. But that's hard.
It's a brand though.
I can't. I mean, yeah, it's a brand.
We gotta figure out a brand.
Have you ever like ran into the problem where like you start a project, right, and you already have a name of what you want this track to be, and then you produce it and you're like, this is not what that track is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't name this that.
It's been
it pisses me off. Personally, it pisses me off like really.
That's
bad.
why a lot of my track titles are just fucking dates of when I fucking made it.
So we established the track titles after we're done with the creative finished project. Is that what we're getting to, right?
I guess,
that's what I do.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
With mixes that I haven't released, and I don't know what to name them yet, but I have them like private on SoundCloud just so I can listen to. I do the car test. Well, I throw it in the car, you know, listen to it, be like, what I vibe to this while I'm driving. I just name them dumb shit. Like one of them I have on my SoundCloud is PP Poopy Pants, and
of course.
So it's like just dumb shit. And I'm like, well, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'll show him or something. I'll send it to him. He's like, why the fuck is this named it this way?
It's hard for me. Like, well, I cheat and I use just like lyrics. I just pull a fucking word out of the lyrics of the song. Boom, easy day. If I have a song like that doesn't have any fucking thing in it, I sit there forever. I'm like, what is this gonna be called?
Bro, you were saying that you name your project dates. I used to do that until I realized I produced a lot, and I was like, wait, what date did I make this track?
No.
It's got a little
What?
bit extra. It has like a key, and then I kind of put like rhythm. Like I try to pick out like a sound that I know I'll remember, and just kind of like this
That's
kind
the
of rhythm track,
hardest
lumpy rhythm
beat,
track,
boop, rhythm.
shit like that.
And it's crazy because I'll have an FLP or a project file name something else, but then the track will be named not what I named the file. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
okay,
happens to me too.
I need to go back to the file. What is it? And yeah, it gets me. It's real. Naming shit is probably the second most hardest thing outside of producing. I think.
So coming up with a fucking name, dude.
Giving our art an identity.
Yeah.
And then
Sorta.
giving
Yeah.
artwork to it.
Cool.
And
Fuck. Cover art for the single has been a process. We had some really dope ideas, and he found an artist that I was like, dude, these are sick. Tried contacting the artist, and he's like, not for sale. So I was like, okay.
I'm a
I'm
big advocate for unique looking art too. Like I mean,
I know we had talked about that.
the
prior.
robots for dubstep has been done like a million times. Like
Yeah.
if you want to stand out, like have some cool art, you know.
Oh,
And
dragons,
art's like half of it.
dinosaurs, like
Art's half, yeah, the identity part, like what you just said, like that's like half the track. So I like to go out and find some artists that are doing some really cool shit. But
Yeah.
fucking Christ, are they expensive?
I was about to say they're expensive as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I was.
I have
very,
Adobe like stock photos and shit that I could use, but it's like I want to have
Nah,
cool
I need
fucking
more,
art.
bro. Yeah.
I may as well just use the Windows XP screensaver, like the little rolling green hills
you,
at this
you
point.
can say don't judge a book by its cover all day long, but you know people do. You know, like if you're scrolling through shit and something just pops out, you're like, what the fuck? And you just click on it. It's natural. It's natural, you know.
Facts.
So you gotta pick something that like looks cool. Artists are
And it has to match my vision at the same time.
Yep.
at the same exactly has to match the vision.
Yep.
I think that's what makes finding a good graphic designer really key. Like you found, like I'm pretty sure you found yours now, yeah, that you've been using for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using this person Slash for like 2 years now. The same person that did the artwork for Give Us Time. Oh, well, pretty much all my artwork releases I've been doing like the past 2 years. I mean, like my process is like I make the creative product, which is a track, and then I determine what track title is gonna be, and then once I get the track title done, then that's when I send over it to my graphic designer. Okay, I got the audio file, I got the track title. How can we like form this identity and make it blend together? And he helps out with the visual identity. You know, I already have the audio identity, I already have the title identity. Now it's just making the visual identity of the music like cohesive.
I had a guy, you know what he's fucking doing right now? He's defending fucking Ukraine. He was
shit.
he lives in Ukraine. He was a Ukrainian artist that I found. And he did all my work for Embers and
Respect.
obviously everything that's fucking happening. So like it's kind of unavailable.
Yeah, I don't think he has time to make
moment.
artwork.
Hey, but there's still people out there in Ukraine that are still turning up to EDM music.
Oh fuck yeah, they are.
I know that. Well, there's a war going on.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I just released on a label last month in September, and the label was based out of Ukraine. And I
Fuck
was
yeah.
thinking like, bro, you want to sign my track to your label while there's a war going on, dog? Like this is what you're focused on right now? Okay, let's do it,
Hey,
fam.
dude.
Let's fucking run it.
Honestly, dude, those guys are a whole different fucking breed though.
Oh yeah.
They're tough motherfuckers. They are tough.
Hey, that track I sent them was pretty tough too. So I feel it. I
Yeah,
feel it,
dude.
bro. I
Hey
feel it.
dog, you're gonna hear that bumping in a T-72 rolling down. You know, like that tank crew dog gonna be bumping.
It's
Russians are gonna be scared when they hear that shit.
Oh fuck yeah.
Oh shit, I'm done.
You know what? 'Cause the beginning of that track talks about like war and I was like,
Brother.
what the fuck?
Brother.
You didn't know till
all
after?
making sense
Or
now.
did you-
I'm just connecting it right now. Like I'm gonna have to show you how how it starts and
Dude, he signed propaganda.
yeah.
He
Signed
signed
propaganda.
Propo, dude.
Yeah,
It's
that's exactly
it's a
what
propaganda label.
Dude, they're running Propo ads with your song bumping in the background right now.
I'm not gonna
Oh, I'm
lie.
an official propaganda release, homie.
There was
What's
a
good?
I obviously support Ukraine.
hell yeah.
Obviously.
There was a
True
there was
that.
a story. It was like way back in like
Russia.
2004. It was in Iraq. I obviously wasn't there. I was like fucking 4th grade. But it was a story about like this American army squad was like pinned down, and they were calling for armor support. and the only available unit close to them was the Challenger 2 tank, which is British. And they're like, hey, we got you. Like, we'll be there. Give us 20 mics. 20 minutes later, and this is a pretty famous story. Look this shit up.
I was gonna say, I think I've heard this before.
This is where I love EDM because it brings everyone together. And this Challenger, this fucking tank rolls up with speakers on the outside, right? They're bumping Venga Boys as they're rolling up like to these troops in contact, smoking people while Venga Boys is blasting out of these speakers. They said it was like a 3 or 4 hour firefight. So and all you hear is boom, 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 boom. I want you in, and like bumping this shit to make it even worse. These dudes shot out their smoke grenade launchers, right? That you see on the side of tanks, and fucking Kim sticks shot out. So it's just a bunch of glow sticks shot out. They're playing fucking Venga Boys.
Bro, I would
That
be
sounds like the
pissed
Brits for
if I
you.
was on the losing side of that. Man.
Imagine getting shot to Venga Boys.
Yeah, and glitter and fuck. Bro,
On the
you
re-
ain't gonna disrespect me.
on the
my
reverse side,
The British are fucking. I've worked with them a few times, and the Australians, holy fuck, these dudes are nuts.
all right, imagine on the reverse side though, you're getting your ass whooped. Venga Boys is playing, and they get their asses whooped too, and you die to Venga Boys.
Dude,
Yeah,
Like
that's
that was your savior coming in, and you're like, oh fuck, and then nothing happens.
that was just Venga Boys for everybody, bro.
That's just a shitty situation.
But
all
yeah,
around.
but I used to bump music in my vehicle, like splashing off a ship. I would bump like dubstep.
You used to be shooting people to dubstep.
No, absolutely not. But so I would like rolling down.
Dubsteptronics and
Dude. I'm telling you, there's like
shit.
no better feeling like being in the turret, like outside, and like you can hear your music. Like
Your gun fingers
your
were
head.
real.
Oh, I was just like whatever. But
Back in the day, it was just fucking fortunate, son. The
yeah.
helicopter's coming over. That's all you heard.
But oh, that song is so overplayed. I hate it. But no, it's yeah. This has been really fun. I enjoyed this.
For sure. Well, thank you guys for coming
Yeah.
for this spotlight episode. Downcast. Any
Thanks for having
last
us.
plugs you guys want to plug in?
Well, for me, honestly, because I know I've been struggling with it lately, mental health, and I'm a huge advocate for mental health. So if you are out there struggling, I promise you are not the only one, and you do 100% deserve to be on this earth. So, and if you can't reach out to anybody, plenty of hotlines, suicide hotline and whatnot, but definitely,
Dude, our fucking line is open.
yes.
If
Hit
you
us
have
up.
shit, that you just want someone to fucking talk to, our fucking line is open, man. Don't be afraid to check in on yourself. And that goes for fucking everybody, dude.
Massive.
It's easy to get lost in it. Of course, music can be a form of escapism, and people don't want to face what they're feeling sometimes. But, check up on yourself. You're
Yeah.
important.
All of you are loved and all of you are beautiful. I promise you that. So that's my sign off. Can we play that
Thank
outro
you.
that everyone's been playing? Subtronics did it Lost Lands too. You know what
Oh,
I'm talking
the
about?
outro track,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you serious?
Me neither.
I'll show you.
Nah.
We're
I'll
not
show you.
connected like that.
Oh, I
Damn.
figured.
But thanks for calling me beautiful. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You're very beautiful.
You are beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been another episode. Anything you wanted to plug in?
No, we're good.
Yeah. All right. That's
No
all right.
way. He just dropped a new fucking track. Go check it out.
Oh,
Don't be
yeah.
modest. You just dropped a track.
Me? Oh, the wasted track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go check that.
Well,
out.
yeah.
Go check that shit out.
It's on my SoundCloud and YouTube right now. Yeah, wasted. Yeah, true.
100%.
Go check out the Don Talks episode. We dropped our claws and Rave Train. We talked about techno. If you guys want to learn about
Yes.
techno,
I fucking do. I love techno.
Yeah, they're definitely people to listen to about that shit. They've been touring in like Europe and shit like that. So
Wow.
it's fucking
Check it
dope.
out.
Oh, yeah, bro. Cool. Yeah, thanks.
Team
Thanks, guys.
Getter.
Peace.
Team Getter.
Big friends. Oh, who is he going back to back with? Escape?
Is it Eptic?
Yeah.
Is it Eptic?